Yeah, Metal Slug Double X. So we are back with another Metal Slug game. I really wanted to record some more Metal Slug on the channel. I intend to record other games as well. Not sure when though. And so we are going to play this game on easy mode for the simple reason that this game has 7 missions, and so it's fairly large. And I'm not that good in this particular Metal Slug. I'm much better in like Metal Slug 1, really. I'm being totally honest with you, and so just to make it a little bit quicker, we're going on easy mode. Because even on normal mode I just spend too much time. The main thing about easy mode is that you have, instead of the pistol, your default weapon is actually the heavy machine gun, and you have infinite ammo, so super easy. And just to make it a little bit different, I'm going for the alternative path. Just to make it a little bit different. Well, I should be able to jump in there, but sometimes for some reason I really can't. And I died. What? Dude. Whoopsie. I have been playing with Rough for a long time, so I'm kinda used to, you know, just get close to vehicles and just smash them. Completely wreck them with my Vulcan Punch. But Clark doesn't have something like that. He actually has that throw attack. And this shotgun is an absurd, you know, it just makes everything so much fucking easy. Easy. Not even 4 minutes and here we are. And we even went for the alternative path, so yeah. And before you ask, that's the only alternative paths I actually know. There are 3 in the game, but I don't actually know the other ones. The future soldiers. High technology from like the next century, I believe. Fuck off. Whoa, shit. The way that guy died. OMG. Metal Slug is gold. Yeet. Yeet. I just love this throw. It's just so fun. Money, 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 money. Ah, shit. Come on, Clark, you can do it. Dude. You're dead. Now, I know some people don't really like Metal Slug X. No, Metal Slug Double X or Metal Slug 7 as it was originally named. Simply because it's not an innovative game inside the franchise, you know. For most people it's a little bit of kind of a not inspired game, you know, it's an uninspired Metal Slug game for some people. But to me it's not a bad game, I mean, it's far from that, but the game does borrow the graphical standpoint and sounds, it does borrow from Metal Slug 6. And one of the things that I really liked of Metal Slug 5 that it's a shame that they didn't use in other games after that was the slide. That was a really unique feature to that game. It's a shame that they got rid of it. But you know, the game seems, to me, the game seems a little bit all over the place. You know, it has its own things. You know, new enemies like, you know, the future soldiers and these turrets and stuff. It has a few new slugs. You know, only two actually. You know, it has that mega slug that appears later in the game. There's this rail slug that we just used. But you know, a lot of things like enemies and stuff, they're basically, you know, it seems like a compilation from everything that you had in previous games, except a few enemies like, let's say, like mummies and zombies. You actually don't have those in the game, but you have a bunch of enemies from different games. You know, you have those guys in that second alternative path. In the first mission, those guys were from an alternative path in another game. And they're like from Metal Slug 3 or Metal Slug X. And like, it has those plants from Metal Slug 5. It does not have the indigenous people though, but I guess that's kinda unnecessary. From what I remember, there's some people that also think that, you know, the soundtrack is not very inspired. And you know, there's two new slugs and the rest is just slugs from other games. There are some slugs missing, but I think that the most important maybe are here. What I mean is that, you know, we have the original Metal Slug 001, we have The SV001, should I say. We have things like that slug that I don't remember the name of in the second game. It first appeared during the second boss battle. But there isn't anything like an helicopter or like that jet plane, which was also pretty cool. After that we only have the ostrich, we have the slugnoid, and I believe that's it, you know. As far as I know, there isn't any more slugs. Not that it really needs to have all slugs from previous games, but I don't know. And I mean, some slugs are a little bit useless when you have other slugs, you know. That slug that is like a donkey is kind of useless. Ah, yes, nice. Because that's basically a modified version of the camel that can use an extra weapon, which is a cannon. But other than that, is pretty similar. Now I know that we have Slugnoid, but like it would be pretty cool that if we could like have something like that. That Slug from Metal Slug 5. You know, that's basically the best slug ever. You know, it looks like the regular SV001s, but it's a bipedal version of it. There isn't any special things in here. Oh boy. I was curious to check if there was any hidden prisoners in there, but I didn't find any, so I believe there isn't. See, easy mode is just extremely easy. We didn't even get to the platform, the ascending platform. And still I die a lot. And this is actually being fairly quick, you know, only 12 minutes so far. Almost 13 minutes. 13 minutes and 5 seconds. Ah yes, thank you for the poop. Hey, I just pooped that poop. I pooped my pants. I pooped my pants. Yeet. But overall it's a good game, you know, it's not bad. And this, the Double X version for ps4 is obviously the ultimate experience in this game. Because it has the best graphics and, you know, it has, I would say, the advantages of the PSP version, you know, which is the Double X version. Since it was originally Metal Slug 7 and then, you know, it was launched for Nintendo DS, and then it had the PSP version, which was the Double X version. And this is based upon that version in particular. Though I don't remember exactly what differences are, though the Nintendo DS version obviously doesn't look as good as the PSP version, because for obvious reasons, obviously. But, you know, yeah, I mean, if you want to play this game, this is really the ultimate experience. The only advantages of other versions would be portability. You know, because this version has support for widescreen and things like that. You laughing at me? I'm gonna throw your ass. Oi. It's fun because, you know, there's a few trophies in this game that include you killing a certain number of enemies or vehicles or whatever with a character's special action or special attack, you might call them. And you know, one of them is killing like 20 or 30 enemies with Clark's throwing attack called Argentine Backbreaker. And like, it's a cool trophy, and what's fun about it is that after you get that trophy, you actually get 10,000 points every time you throw an enemy. And that amount increases if you throw one after the other. Which is an interesting thing, you know. It's an interesting little detail. Oof. Boy. Here are the plants. Yummy. Clark tastes like a snack. Ah, yes. And the old man just stays there, you know, like it's, you know, it's just everyday life. Nothing special. Nothing special here. Ah, yes. Yummy, yummy. Clark sandwich. And these worms that just, you know, they just enter a combustion state after they got shot. Everyone's trying to eat Clark. This guy must taste pretty good. Incredible how I'm dying in easy mode. Even though, like, in this game I don't care too much about dying, simply because of the fact that, you know, we have infinite continues in this game, so like, I don't care too much. La 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 la. Yummy. Now tell me, how does she swallow him and not swallow his jacket? How is that? I actually never got with the ostrich to that point because I usually lose it in one of the jumps, and you know, when I die in the jump I end up reviving, getting back to life in the other platform, and I can't get back to that guy. And one thing is certain, the beginner level is pretty easy, and that weapon, that thunder shot, that's just overpowered as fuck. You know, it follows enemies, it can kill various enemies at the same time, and it does a lot of damage. No flex tape can repair that. No matter how many flex tape, how much you use, you cannot repair that. That's probably the most interesting thing about this mission, is the fact that you deploy your parachute every time you jump. Now these guys with miniguns, you know, they shoot like 3 different shots, you know, different heights, and pretty fast. But I don't really remember how they were in like in previous Metal Slugs, like Metal Slug X. I believe it was the first time they appeared. But that would be Metal Slug 2, obviously, but you get what I mean. The idea that I have is that they had a different pattern of shooting, and not just 3 shots. But I could be wrong. Hey fellas. It's actually only 1,000 points, so it's not a lot, but it's actually pretty cool when you get a little bit of immunity, so that's pretty cool, really. That and Ralph's abilities are probably my favorite ones. Ah, yes. Oh my god. Hey, I don't know what happened, I didn't have anything to do with that. Bitch. It's just fun how it just throws them, you know, it's pretty hilarious. I mean, that's the whole point of Metal Slug. So... on to the final boss. I mean, in this area, of course. I mean, there's still this section, but we're close to it. We're halfway there. That guy always comes from the back and kills me. Bruh. Now this game also gives you a lot of points in comparison to previous games, because, you know, you have coins flying around all the time, and you also have those points multipliers, those score multipliers. I mean, we already had that in Metal Slug X. Metal Slug X. Oh, Jesus. Metal Slug 6. Just like that feature of having more than one weapon at the same time and not just your default pistol and then being substituted by the main weapon. You have more than one weapon now. It's one of the best features they introduced in the last games of the franchise, really. That and the slide in MGS. Fuck. Metal Gear. Metal Slug. Sorry, I've been playing so much Metal Gear. And I tend to confuse the names. Oh Jesus. And I'm talking like this. So what I was saying, you know, it was one of the best features, that and the slide from Metal Slug 3. It's a yet again, Metal Slug 5, goddammit. It's a shame that they didn't keep that feature in Metal Slug 6 and 7. It really is, because it was one of the best features, you know, added in the latest games. I knew that wouldn't happen. Funny, huh? You can actually get killed by just getting pressed against the screen. Considering that this is a 2D game, it does make sense. Fun fact, this was the only main game, you know, from the main line of games of the Metal Slug series. Except the spin-offs, of course, like Metal Slug Advance and First Mission and Second Mission, that were never launched to arcade systems. You know, Metal Slug 3... I don't know, I was saying Metal Slug 3 or X or whatever. Like, bro. Anyways, Metal Slug X... Yet again. Metal Slug 6... Sorry, this is my bad commentary. Metal Slug 6 was actually the last game of the series to get launched in an arcade system, and even then it wasn't launched in an SNK system. It was actually launched in, I believe, Tommy's Wave, which is basically based upon an arcade system made by Sega. Now, Tommy's Wave is not from Sega, of course, but its architecture is based upon an arcade that was basically Sega's equivalent to the Dreamcast, you know, but on an arcade cabinet version. And Metal Slug 6 was launched for that system, and it was the last one to get launched for an arcade system. Metal Slug 7 was only launched for the Nintendo DS back in the day, and then the PSP like two years later, I believe. Renamed as Metal Slug X and Double X, and then we got this version a couple years ago in 2016, which is the remastered version of it. And finally I killed this guy. "28 minutes already. Been a while since I recorded a long video. The last one I recorded that was longer was that Uncharted video. And by the way, since I referenced the fact that this version is, you know, the best experience of the game and like a remastered version and stuff. This version does have a strange bug that sometimes happens when you enter the game. That's like, there's gonna be a bug, you know, a glitch that affects the game, but only graphically. It doesn't affect the performance actually. And it's like you have these black dots in the screen. They almost look like dead pixels. And I actually never heard of anybody talk about that, but it does happen. For example, when I turned the game on for the first time today, I actually had that happening to me. And when I first played it, when I bought it the first time, I actually had that same issue. And only when I turned on the game again, it didn't happen anymore. I believe that it might be a random, or it might be, you know, one time you turn it on and it happens, the second time it doesn't happen, then it happens again that it doesn't happen anymore. Or it may just be random, you know, which is probably what really is, you know, it's probably random. And I keep thinking that I can land in there, but I actually can't. I'ma quit. No, I won't. And you know, again, this is the ultimate version of this game, really. I'm just kind of surprised that it didn't add any kind of online features to the game, really. That's the only thing that I think that maybe they could have done that they didn't in this part of the game. Because, you know, they upgraded the graphics, they made it compatible with full screen resolution. According to them, it runs in 4K, actually, can actually run at that. The maximum I can do is 1080p though, so I can't really prove that. And I believe that they said that it ran at 60 frames per second, I believe. And that I believe it's true. Come here! You wanted to fall, man? Look at that guy. Okay. Anyways, let's proceed. Is there anything in here? Probably not. Do 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 do. It's fun now in the beginner mode, you know, not just the fact that you have, you know, your default weapon is the heavy machine gun instead of the pistol, and you have infinite ammo, which is cool, and makes everything just much easier. But also the fact that since you already start with the heavy machine gun, instead of them giving you an heavy machine gun when you restart from a not restart, but when you get back from a continue, instead of giving you an heavy machine gun, they just give you grenades, which is interesting. So you start with 10 grenades, but if you pick those up, you actually have 20 after that. So, you know, they really give you everything to make the game just extremely easy. My controller is almost dying. How cool is that? Now, one just little detail is that this game obviously plays better if you use the D-pad, but for using slugs, I recommend you using the joystick. The analog stick is much better for that, you know, to angle your shots, you know, downwards and stuff. Just makes everything smoother. Though you can do that with the D-pad. You can actually do that. Look at me doing that right now. But it's a little bit better with the DualShock. Now with the DualShock, no, the joystick. Now you can use that, you know, while playing with your character normally, so, but like, I think it's not as good because at least with me, it kind of, sometimes I end up, you know, moving the stick a little bit too downwards, and it makes the character, you know, crouch when I don't want to. It's not as practical. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not as practical. I really don't know how to evade that attack, but I'm pissing on you. Pissing bullets. And it's also pretty fun how they just destroy the cockpit and the rest of the robot is just intact. Like, oh yeah, they shoot me in the leg, but the cockpit is the only thing that gets damaged. Like, the rest is fine. In a certain way, the same happens with O'Neill, you know, his robot actually doesn't get actually destroyed, you know. Which is kind of strange, but yeah. As you can see, sometimes I end up crouching on my SV001, but it's not as noticeable since he can still move it while crouching, and it's fairly fast that way. It's worse if it's playing with a regular character. Here we go. This guy never lasts too much. It's a shame that he only appears here, you know, it's not a big section, and like I can never let him live. You know, the game is too cluttered with enemies at times, and even though I'm not that bad in, let's say, Metal Slug X, and even 3. I haven't played the other Metal Slug, so I can't say. That's the only ones that I played, and like, you know, well, I played 2 as well, but like, that's the same thing, pretty much. It's curious, like, this game seems a little bit harder to survive. Because some parts seem designed in a way that you're meant to die all the time. But that doesn't make the game, Jesus, not being fun, you know. Doesn't make it a bad game. I don't consider it a bad game. It's probably not the best Metal Slug, but you know, I would say that I would prefer something like Metal Slug X or Metal Slug 3, and even the first one, which is probably the most simple Metal Slug out of them all, but it's probably also the most nostalgic, at least for me, because it's the one that I play the most. And it's definitely a wonderful game. Alright, so boss is done. In the scrap island, full of scrap. This is what humanity does. Islands full of scrap. Literally made out of scrap. And beat the shit out of them. I knew I shouldn't have moved because I was gonna get hit by that thing, but I still did. By the way, you know, I talked about that thing, the design of certain parts, you know, it seems like you're meant to die there. But is it really bad level design, or is it just straight up made to kill you, you know? It doesn't necessarily mean that it was poorly made, it's just made in a way that you're meant to be dead. But as soon as you step on that zone. I just found a new prisoner that I didn't know existed. Which is always fun. Just kick the shit out of here. Everything is calm, everything is silent. But in a game like Metal Slug, if things are too quiet for a couple seconds, it doesn't mean anything good. Almost. I was about to jump, but it wasn't fast enough. Like always. That's usually the problem, you know, not being fast enough. He keeps dying, keeps dying. Gotta destroy all these tentacles. After I destroyed it so easily, it actually went to sleep. I don't care about dying, I actually want to switch characters, so that's why. I want to play with Leon a little bit. One less. Now, there aren't actually 6 tentacles here for us to destroy, as far as I noticed. Where are you, fella? It's always fun when you die at the same time that the other guy did. Oh my god. Ah! No, R2 machine gun is actually worth anything compared to the regular heavy machine gun. But, I mean, I guess you do get a lot of ammo in this game, but like... I'm not entirely sure how they were in previous Metal Slugs, the 2 heavy machine gun, but I think that they're a little bit not very worth it compared to other weapons. Yeah, right, just sit there. That thing is just falling apart and the usual suspects. The regular army member in this last mission? I didn't. I guess that it doesn't need to be in the same round, maybe. In the same run. Maybe it can be more than one run, you know. I guess that I had cleared that with Marco and Clark already. Not sure about Theo. I probably had done with Ralph as well, then I played with Leona a little bit. But I didn't play with Theo, did I? No, I didn't, so I'm not sure about that. Well, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you liked it. A pretty long video actually. Almost 50 minutes. What I don't like about this method of recording on the PS4 is that you can only record for up to 60 minutes. It's not really good, you know. I guess they could extend that time a little bit, but well, I mean 60 minutes will be more than enough for most videos, but like sometimes it's better if you can record something bigger, like if you have to edit something out, or you know, just divide the video in two or something like that. I had a recording of this game that actually exceeded the limit time, because it was like almost 1 hour and 10 minutes or something. There is the alien. I really wanted SNK to release a new Metal Slug 8 or something like that, or you know, even if it was a spin-off, but something cool, you know. I actually did think that, you know, Metal Slug 3D wasn't that bad, but it didn't have any success, so I doubt that they'll try that again anytime soon, if anytime really. But I think they could release some more spin-off games similar to something with what they did with Metal Slug Advance or First Mission and Second Mission. And even mobile games, you know, we have Metal Slug Attack and Defense, and I actually prefer the Metal Slug Defense really. And we also have mobile versions of the first games, but you know, other originally mobile games that were launched of Metal Slug series weren't that great, as far as I know. I mean, they could release a good quality Metal Slug game on Android devices, even a free game, but that wasn't something like Metal Slug Defense or Attack. They could make something new. But preferably a console game, something like Metal Slug 8, or even if a new spin-off, something cool. And we all want to see them innovate a little bit. We're not sure when we are getting anything new on this series though. We know that the series is not completely forgotten, but we don't know. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.